Tuatha De Danann would be closer to what we could call the pagan gods of the Irish. However, when you read the mythology, they're not really thought of, or people don't behave towards them like we expect people to behave towards gods and goddesses, such as in the Greek and in the Roman belief systems and other pagan systems. They were considered the Sidhe, or the Dini Maha, they called them, the good people. And part of the reason they called them the good people was not really because they thought they were good people. It was in case they were listening. The invisible ones were listening, and you didn't want to say something bad about them because the fairy people, the Dini Maha, they had power. And in a sense, we might be closer thinking of demons here, or of jinn in the Islamic tradition. So these are the fairies, the banshee, the very famous fairies and she people of Ireland. We don't find temples to them in the same way that we do to, say, Athena or Jupiter and so on, Hermes. And the stories that we do have about them don't seem to contain much about sacrificing to the Sidhe or calling on them for divine aid. They do appear in the stories to some of the later heroes and offer divine assistance, but it doesn't seem like there's anything humans can do to kind of appeal to that assistance and to call out to them. They don't seem to be worshipped as in the typical way that we expect gods to be worshipped. And just on note on the Fomorians, because everybody knows and talks about the Tuatha De Danann as these like very mystical and interesting and mysterious gods of early Ireland. But the Fomorians are even more mysterious than the Tuatha De Danann. They are the longest established of the early races who we hear of in Ireland. Several races had come in the time after the flood. So after COURSESIrish, you had the Partholonians, the Nemedians, and the Firbolgs. And each time they came, they found the Fomorians that were already there. So, in a sense, according to the mythology, the Fomorians are the oldest of the post-flood races. They seem to have inhabited Ireland the longest, especially along the north and the west coasts. And meanwhile, you have these migrations of Partholonians and Nemedians and eventually Tuatha De Danann. And so, these are the group that the Tuatha De Danann allegedly fight in the second battle of Moytora, the Fomorians, who are described as monsters or pirates, or in some texts even just merchants. In the mythology, they signify the bad gods, the monstrous ones, the what we would call the Titans in Greek mythology. They symbolize the chaotic and dark side of nature, the unruly forces of the storm. They are the opposing forces to the Tuatha De Danann, who symbolize light, reason, art, poetry, high culture, and so on.